feel like if North get the next goal, it's game over, don't you? Oh, well, there you go.
Wells comes in and punishes.
And it means that basically Adelaide have got to kick 6 goals minimum to win.
I was laying on the lounge at home. I just had my knee done, and Mum was laying next to me, and I was actually texting between myself and Matthew Yench for probably about 30 minutes, the last quarter actually, and he kept saying that we're going to come back. I remember we're 5 goals down.
And Burlow 55 metres out, pulls it back towards the middle. Kerridge, there's Kerridge, huge kick then, Kerridge.
We kicked the goal, and he said we're coming. Then I flicked the message back saying no, we're done.
Well, there's still a little hope, I guess, is there?
You never give up hope as a coach, and I know the famous one is, you know, the Lee Matthews. If you need more goals than minutes, then you can't win. But that game against North, I think we needed more goals than there was minutes left.
And now Smith kicks to full forward. Pleasure. Well done, Pleasure. The little gift. Kerridge for a handful. He's got 5, and they're still alive.
We sent a message out, I guess, halfway through the last quarter that we felt like if we were going to win it, we had to take an enormous amount of risks, and we looked to put speed on the game. We looked to play on at all costs. Anytime we took a mark, it was either, you know, a handball received or just a wheel and go. So we tried to really break the game open it up. It was a little bit like we're going to either try and win this game or we're going to lose by 7 or 8 goals.
They need to be daring now, Van Burlow. What a good kick. Scuttles down towards Port Pleasure, goes inside to Douglas at full stretch, needs support, gets it across to Lynch, back to Douglas, full kick, he goes in and kicks for goal, and North Melbourne are quivering at the knees.
They just kept coming and kept coming. It felt like, especially playing down in the back line, that you just had Adelaide guys just running at you flat out for the last quarter, and it's like, who do you pick up?
And the momentum, you could sense it. People always ask, what is momentum? Well, you don't know what it is until you're experiencing it, and they just seem to get the footy going forward. They were playing very attacking footy, and they were taking risks because the only way they could win was by doing that.
If Adelaide can get a quick centre clearance here, the Hearts will be in the mouths.
We'd sort of really got in a roll, and we were kicking the ball in forward 50 quite often. We'd kick back-to-back goals, and it really felt like we were attacking and coming at them, and we were quite confident that we could get the result we wanted if we played the way that we spoke about at three-quarter time, and that was basically to keep on attacking them.
North are playing so well, and should never been so far down, but I know in Telstra Dome it always felt like we were scoring quickly, and when we got the hands on the ball, so once we started getting our hands on it, goals started to come and come quickly.
Can Jenkins get it over the back? I think he has. Bouncing ball, Lynch down low, Paul Pleasure, we've talked about him. Back to Lynch. Oh, Lynch sidestep and then goes with a long one. Would it be a goal? It's got to be a goal because that guy has done it again. Kerridge.
He's going to get this through as quickly as he can.
Adelaide within a goal. Can you believe it? And Talia started it all at the back up.
The defence was great. They just locked the ball away, and at no point did the ball get into North Melbourne's sort of forward 50 in that last 7 or 8 minutes. You know, they rebounded everything.
Petrie milking the clock, kicks it towards the outer side wing. Big leap out there, Goldstein. Jenkins a half chance taken down. Kerridge, the unlikely hero.
Kicks to full forward. Anything can happen here. Here we go. It's a goal. Can you believe it? It's extraordinary.
I remember, I think it was about 30 seconds to go, and the Roos had the ball on half back line, and I was thinking, game's over. There's no way we can win it here. Surely time's going to run out.
Anything can happen here.
So when the ball bounced over the back, I just thought, just get the ball through. Don't pick it up. What if the siren goes? A lot of things went through my head, and thank God it went straight.
It's a goal. Can you believe it? It's extraordinary.
I just remember thinking, if there's a chance that we can win, we need to win this contest down the line, and Josh Jenkins' effort down the line was unbelievable.
What about that ball then from Jenkins as well? You talked about his bulldog style of play, but he just forced himself through that contest.
Just somehow got it forward and got it to the real hero of the game, Sam Carey.
Jenkins a half chance taken down. Kerridge the unlikely hero.
I was just lucky. My man sort of went up to go third man up and missed the ball, so I was just in the right spot at the right time.
Kicks to full forward. Anything can happen here. Here we go. There's a goal. Can you believe it?
Well, usually when games get tight, I sort of sneak around up to the defensive end, and I was in that marking contest with Ben Rutten because I'd gone behind the footy, and Ben Rutten came with me, so we're very close, and the footy went over my head, so I misjudged it. You know, had my time again, I would have hopefully taken a few more steps back and taken a mark or spoilt it away. So it went over the back of the pack. I saw Petrenko running onto it. He was on his own and just couldn't believe it when he kicked it.
It's an amazing feeling. We knew at that stage we were really pressing hard and kicked quite a few goals in a row, and then when he kicked it through, it was sheer jubilation.
I was like, oh, he's missed it because he's booted it out of the air. But when it went in, I was like, oh, we're going to win this. I just thought we've won it.
You'll see the vision of the coach's box when Petrenko kicks that goal. It's one of the greatest feelings I've ever had coaching.
When Petrenko kicked that goal out the back, it was just the icing on the cake of how pathetic we'd been for about a 15-minute period.
We probably should have picked the ball up, to be truthful. It was a risk kicking off the ground, but everything worked out, went straight through the middle.
I think some of the North Melbourne supporters had a few hand gestures for him, and I think they were signalling basically, you know, how many points they were behind.
I was so happy for him as well. Like, one of your best mates kicks a goal like that. It doesn't happen too often in a game. In a game like that, it's pretty special.
Yeah, he doesn't mind bringing it up every now and again, Pup, and if you ever want to put a smile on his face, you just got to talk to him about that, because he's pretty proud of that moment, and it was even more proud for him because it was Indigenous round, and I think he was a late inclusion, so it was a great game for Jared Petrenko.
The late inclusion during the week, an Indigenous round. Adelaide have come from nowhere, and Brad Scott's nightmare has continued.
We knew at the time there wasn't much time left on the clock, so I think there's about 15 seconds. So after Jared kicked through, we're all very clear about what we needed to do in the next play, and that was do anything to win the centre clearance or limit the effectiveness of North if they won the clearance. And lucky enough, the ball was tapped down to Bernie Vince, who then, with a bit of composure, hit Porps out in the wing, and we held possession and won the game.
Just seconds remaining, and Adelaide win it. He'll run for as far as he can. Benson just chip it out wide. Poor Police, it's all over.
I mean, we dominated Adelaide for 100 minutes. We dominated that game, and you know, through a combination of mental, physical fatigue, and some massive lapses in concentration, we fell apart.
Adelaide, a miracle in Etihad on a Sunday afternoon with the dome closed. They're home and hosed.
Yeah, that's probably the game that doesn't sit well with any North supporter or player. Unfortunately for me, that's probably the worst game I've ever played, and that last quarter was probably the worst quarter I've ever played, and I don't think we've ever replayed a game of footy as much at the club, so I get reminded about how poor we were and how poor I was very often because we review that game.
You've done all the work to, like you said, get up by 30 points, and you end up losing by 2 or 3 points when you've done all the hard work because of something that we probably should have stopped.
I wasn't keen to get on Twitter that night because there was a few supporters that had me in the gun and a few of the other boys, and it wasn't pretty. The crowd, I remember the North, we've got a lot of great supporters, and generally, whether we win or lose, they're really good, but I can remember on this day that they weren't happy, and rightly so.
Probably the hardest thing is the walk off the ground. You think back of what else you could have done, could have I spoiled that, should have I held that, and then you walk off and you see the supporters' faces, and they're just, they feel the same as you, they're just distraught.
And North Melbourne's nightmare gets worse.
When that siren went, I reckon for about 30 minutes, I just couldn't stop smiling. I had the biggest smile ever.
I think it's the most exciting win that I've ever been a part of, and the feeling after the game was amazing. I don't think I've ever seen everyone react like that, and it was funny, during the week Sando brought up the game, and we have behind the goals footage now, so you can basically see everyone that's on the field at once, and we showed the clip when the final siren went, and some of the celebrations were quite embarrassing and very funny.
Yeah, it was an unbelievable feeling. Guys were jumping around, guys were screaming. It was just a really good feeling after the game. It was probably the best win I've been involved in.
Well, after the game, it was seriously like you just wanted to hug everyone, and you wish you could celebrate those wins for a few days after, because they're pretty special. They just don't happen, really.
Outside of you know, coaching in the coach's box with the premierships at Geelong, as an assistant coach, that was the most, I guess, unbelievable win that I've been involved in.
It's just one of the greatest moments in my life, really. Everyone, just especially after the game in the change rooms, I couldn't stop shaking for hours, even on the plane.